Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. Welcome to Bookmas Day 18. Today's video is my holiday book recommendations, and I felt like it would be perfect because it's exactly 1 week until Christmas, I think. And it's coming up so fast. So here's some recommendations for some books you can read to get into the spirit before Christmas is here. The first one is actually a very popular one, but I still wanted to recommend it, and that is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This basically is about a girl named May who every year with her family, they go to this snowy Utah cabin for Christmas. And it's like her family and I think 2 other families, something like that. And they all go to this cabin every year, but this is the last year they will be going to this cabin. And so on the way to the airport from the cabin, after everything's over, she's looking out the window in the car and basically pleading with the universe to show her what will make her happy. And she hears tires screech and metal crunch, and then she wakes up on an airplane on the way to Utah. So before this whole trip happened. And basically she keeps reliving the same trip over and over again until she finally realizes what will make her truly happy. And obviously there's romance in here. It's actually, I think there's like 2 different brothers that could be viewed as love interests, if I remember correctly. I read this last year, so it's been a little bit, but I remember really liking it. I was worried that because you're reliving the same trip, I was worried it would be really repetitive and kind of annoying, and I remember being very pleasantly surprised at the way that it's written. It's like you get like little recaps of stuff that you already know, but then each time there's something different that happens, or you learn something different you didn't know before, and each chapter, like each time you're reliving it, is still different and interesting, and it's just a really cool concept. And also this cover is adorable. After that, we have 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. So this one is about a girl who was just broken up with by her boyfriend, and she goes home for the holidays. She has a really big family. They all do all these holiday activities together, and she ends up going home, and they find out what happened with her and her boyfriend, and they decide to set her up on 10 blind dates. And it's really interesting because they're all trying to outdo each other, and they're all trying to like set her up with people they know, and there's all these like festive activities that they're doing on these dates. And it is crazy. It's so fun and hilarious and awkward and relatable. And it was just such a quick, easy read. It was so, I don't know, it was just so fun. And I just feel like it captured like the spirit of Christmas, and I really loved it. I honestly feel like that would make the perfect holiday rom-com, like a movie you'd see on Netflix or something. I think it'd be perfect. I feel like I've heard rumors of it being adapted into a movie, but I'm not positive. But fingers crossed, because it would be so cute. After that, we have The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, and this is one of the ones I was really looking forward to this year, and it was so cute. So basically, we have twins, I can't remember their names right now, Charlie and Cass. And they are identical twins. Charlie is a chef who is working on a reality baking show, and Cass is working back home in the small town at their family bakery. And basically, Charlie ends up having a head injury on the set of the baking show, and she loses her sense of taste and smell. So she comes up with this plan to switch lives with her sister so that she can still do the, like somebody will still do the show and she'll still have her job, but then also the bakery will still be okay. So they end up swapping lives, and it is very interesting. A tiny bit stressful, but a lot of fun, and it's really funny to watch them try to pretend to be the sister. And also they have their own respective romances because they both fall for people that are in their sisters' lives, and it's just so interesting. It's so well done, and I loved the baking. There's so much baking in here, and if you're a sucker for that like I am, you should definitely give this one a chance. It literally just made me want to eat a whole bunch of sweet stuff and like bake some cookies. It was just so fun. The next one I have is actually a Hanukkah romance, and that is The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. And I've already done a review on this book, but this one's really fun. I've never read a Hanukkah romance before, and before reading this, I honestly did not know much about Hanukkah. I recognized certain terms like, a menorah and a dreidel and like that kind of stuff, but I didn't really know too much about it. And I felt like this was such a good introduction to Hanukkah and just Hanukkah romances in general. I'm not sure if there are any more. I'm sure there are. This is the only one I've heard of. But it was so cute. So basically, we have our main character who is a Jewish girl, and she is secretly obsessed with Christmas. And she's also a secret Christmas romance author, and like her whole family, they don't know that she writes Christmas books. And one day her publishing company says that they want her to write a Hanukkah romance. They are like, you're perfect for it. You know, you're Jewish. You would be great for this. And they want her to write a Hanukkah romance. Well, that was hard to say. But she doesn't have any inspiration for that. She's always just only been inspired by Christmas. So she ends up trying to work the Matzo Ball, and she ends up having to work with somebody that she does not like, that she used to go to summer camp with. And so there's like enemies to lovers and second chance romance. It was honestly really adorable, and it was really fun to get to know things about Hanukkah and certain like cultural differences. Like, I don't know, it was just so fun to learn about their traditions and certain values that they have, and all the different foods that they eat and different activities they do during Hanukkah. And it was just so cute and fun, and I really appreciated learning about all of that. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, go check out that review. I go a lot more in depth, but I definitely would recommend this if you're looking for a holiday book that's not Christmas related. The next Christmassy book I want to recommend is All I Want for Christmas by Wendy Loja. This is about a girl who works in a small town bookstore, and she has one wish for the holidays, and that is to get a kiss under the mistletoe. And there's basically two guys in her life right now, and she's pretty sure that the guy that she does not want to be with is Jacob. She thinks that they will 100% not get along. He is the athlete, player type, and she doesn't really see him as anything more than like a friend or just somebody to hang out with in town. And then she has Charlie, who is this person with a British accent. He's like this mysterious stranger, and she really wants her mistletoe kiss to be with him. But you basically just get to watch her figure out who she wants to kiss under the mistletoe. And I feel like I'm not doing this book justice, but it is so cute. And also, each chapter starts with, like, the title is a different Christmas song, and I think that is just so adorable. I don't know, there's something about this that just really captures the essence of Christmas to me. After that, we have a New Year's romance, which is New Year's Kiss by Lee Matthews. This is the only New Year's book that I've ever read, but I feel like it's so fun. It's also really short, and this is basically about these sisters that end up going to a like holiday resort that their like grandmother owns, and I don't think they're very close with their grandmother, but they go to this resort and they don't really want to be there. They want nothing to do with it, but our main character Tess ends up making a bucket list of things she wants to do to kind of push her out of her comfort zone while she's there. And this boy Christopher that she meets in the lobby finds out she's making this bucket list and decides that he wants to help her check things off. But the thing is that he is keeping a secret that could destroy everything. This cover is adorable. I just kind of stared at it for a minute because I forgot how cute it was, but I'll probably read this sometime after Christmas. I originally read it last year, loved it, and I feel like it's time to reread it because I really, really enjoyed this one. The next one is a book that I actually read on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Faking Under the Mistletoe by Ashley Shepard. So before you read it, definitely check trigger warnings. And also, this is a workplace romance, enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Fake dating. It has a lot of tropes that I really, really enjoy, and it all has a Christmas backdrop, which is so fun. Basically, our main character ends up kissing her boss under the mistletoe at a work event because his ex is around. They just broke up, and she can see how devastated he is, and she decides to help him make the ex jealous and kiss him. And it makes things a little more complicated than she thought it would. This is just super cute. So if you like any of those tropes, I highly recommend you check it out. My only thing is I thought this was an adult romance, but if I remember correctly, it has fade to black. Like there is no spice. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. But if you don't care if there's spice or not, definitely read it. It was still so cute and definitely worth the read. The next one I have is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I've already talked about this in a review for it, but it is so cute. This also has a good amount of tropes that I love. It's a workplace romance, it's grumpy sunshine, but it's fun because Stella is the grumpy one and Aiden is the sunshine. So it's a nice twist with that trope because usually it's the other way around. Also, this does kind of have insta-love in it, so it wasn't enough to bother me. I don't really like insta-love. It wasn't that much insta-love, but it was definitely still a part of it, so if you don't like that, maybe skip this one. But this is another quick read, and it's so fun. It takes place in New York City during Christmas time, and basically, Stella is standing in front of this window display at a department store, and Aiden walks up to her and asks her what she thinks of the decor, and she is very honest about the fact that she does not like it and what she would do differently, and so he tells her to apply for the job, and she has no idea that he actually owns the department store, and they end up working together. Also, I feel like it's good to note that Stella is an ex-convict, so it really adds a layer of depth to the story as well, and it was a nice little twist that I was not expecting. Then we have The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello, and this is another really quick, fun holiday read. This one feels a little bit younger than some of the other ones I've recommended, but it's still so good. Basically, our main character is a book blogger, and she works at this inn and like gift shop in this town where this really popular Christmas movie was filmed. So it's like a tourist destination, and she ends up having to train the nephew of the owner, and they don't get along at all, and one day they accidentally switch phones and learn things about each other that kind of bring them closer. I also really like this one because it has like text messages in there, so it's a nice little touch. But this one is just another really cute one, and the cover is so adorable. I feel like I could say that about all of these books. Up next, we have another one that is a little younger, but it's still so cute and definitely very festive and fun. And that is I'm Dreaming of a Wyatt Christmas by Tiffany Schmidt. And this one is really cute. I also love the pun in there. I'm a sucker for puns. But this follows a girl who is a babysitter for this family, and they invite her to go on their ski trip with them because they want to be able to go out on dates and stuff. And she is kind of part of the family. She's been babysitting for them for a while, and they all love her. And she ends up going with them. And while she's there, the older brother of the kid she was babysitting just shows up unexpectedly. It's a big surprise, and they don't get along at all. So it's kind of an issue and like sort of a power struggle, but like in kind of a fun way. And eventually they bond and get to know each other, and it's really, really cute. They do a bunch of Christmas activities. The backdrop is really fun. The fact that it's at a ski resort. The kids are adorable, and it's just so fun. And also, they both love dance, so that's a fun little element as well. And this also has some deeper elements with like family dynamics that both of our main characters struggle with. So it also has some depth with it, but look how cute. I don't know, just the pun is what drew me in, and I loved this a lot more than I thought I would. It seems like a lot younger than I usually would like to read, but it was still so amazing. I gave this one 4 stars, and I would definitely buy a copy because this is a library copy. I would totally buy a copy, and I highly recommend it. I don't know why I'm rambling so much. Christmas just makes me really excited, and I could go on and on forever. And then we have Nick and Noel's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. And this one's fun because there really is a playlist in the back. There's like, I don't know, 40 or 50 songs on it. But I really, really loved that. And this is dual perspective. Some of the other ones are dual perspective too. I just forgot to mention it. But basically, Nick and Noel are best friends. They've been best friends since they were really young. And Nick is coming home from being in the army overseas after like 8 years in the army. And he comes home and his girlfriend breaks up with him. And so Noel tries to cheer him up and they try to do all these things. But one day they're out in town and they see his ex. And so she decides to kiss him to make the ex jealous. And then they kind of do this fake dating thing. So it's like friends to lovers, and also some fake dating elements as well. But it's super cute. And obviously the fact that they kiss like switches things up and makes them think about how they truly feel about the other person. But it's so fun. I loved their friendship. I loved the family dynamic in this as well because Noel is very close to all of Nick's family and you get to meet them. And I think this is actually the first book in a series of companion novels, so I will definitely be reading the next one. The only thing I did not like about this book was the fact that Noel and his ex kept fighting. Like, they hated each other. They kept tearing each other down, insulting one another, and by the end, it got really old. Like, at first, it made sense, it was okay, and then it just kept happening. So if that's not something you like, I would say skip this book, but I think the romance and how festive it is and, all of that, I think it kind of outweighs my dislike for that, so I still did really enjoy this. And then last but not least, we have A Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally. And I love saying that all together. It's so fun. But this obviously is a novel that follows Diwali. And that is another holiday that I knew absolutely nothing about going in. But I love the idea of it being a festival of lights. I had a great time. I actually read this one today. I read the entire thing today. And it was really cute and enjoyable. The only thing is this also is kind of insta-love, and that's not really my favorite trope, but I still thought the romance was very enjoyable. Basically, this follows a girl who is laid off, and she's somebody that she doesn't really get out much. She's not very impulsive or anything, but after being laid off, she decides that she is going to fly to India to go to her best friend's wedding that she originally was not going to go to. And so she flies out there. She's really impulsive, and when she's out there, she ends up meeting this musician named Sam who's from London, and they hit it off. They really get along, and they start to grow really close during this trip for the wedding, and it's so adorable. I feel like they had great chemistry together and great like banter together. Not like banter in a way where they're like bickering a lot, but just like their conversations flowed so well. I'm just going to read this little blurb on the back because I feel like it will describe it better than I did. But it says, Sonia Lally offers up a tale of familial pressures, cultural traditions, and self-discovery that is equal turns heartbreaking and hilarious. And I feel like that describes it very well. You learn about different cultural traditions and there's different family dynamics that you get to experience through this, but also you have just an absolutely adorable romance that I was rooting for from the first second they met. So if you're looking for another book that is not Christmas related, but still about a holiday, I would go for this one as well. Those are all of my holiday book recommendations. Hopefully you found at least one book to add to your TBR. They were all so fun. I love reading holiday romances, and I've been binging a lot these last couple of weeks. So if you have any holiday recommendations, definitely comment them down below. We can all help each other out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and these book recommendations. I put the stack over here, that's why I gestured that way. But I hope you found a new book and you enjoyed this. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, please make sure you click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.